Limbs. So I ran into the guy, Gage from Limbs. I guess they broke up.
Oh.
No, at San Francisco because they
Wait.
Moved
Before
there to
you
be
guys
rock
jump
stars?
to a whole other thing, hold on. What is this shrooms and hoods thing?
Oh.
You guys can't just like say something like that and be like, "Oh yeah, I ran into this person." No, I need to know, what does that mean?
So
Initiation. What?
we were doing an initiation for Chase into the show, and so we we did what we thought an initiation would look like, and so we had on like close.
I have a hit. Actually, I packed up.
Were you guys
one
on
of those,
shrooms?
I was not.
Oh,
I was in like a
Chase were.
fryer attire.
I mean, candles.
Shelby actually packed this up for me.
Yeah. I mean,
I
candles.
did not. I did not get initiated like
Yeah,
that.
No.
Well, he left town next day.
Yeah, so we stopped. Yeah,
Oh,
we
got
decided
it.
not to do that.
Fair.
Again.
Thanks, guys.
Yeah. We didn't want
I
you to move
appreciate
away.
it.
We didn't want you to move away right away. And so yeah, so we did a couple shows around, and then one night the Chase left, so it was just the three of us again, and we went through this phase. It was all me.
There was also no guests. It was just
We had
us.
no guests for a long time. Well, that's because we had some real bad ones.
Yeah, we decided after.
We had a
certain
band
point-
on that was the fucking worst interview I've ever done. And I took
No,
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 I'm
we're not
gonna
going to say
I'm
names.
say
We're not
this.
going to say names.
And so then you weren't there.
I wasn't there.
James was like, it was so bad that usually we ask people to stick around for the second hour, and we actually told them
always
that they
ask
were ready.
one.
They were like, cool, you guys are free to go. We pushed them out the door for the second
Closed
hour.
the door and fucking locked it.
And then trashed them the next hour. And after that, I was like, no more gas. So then we went through a phase where we were drinking alcohol that you would drink when you're underage.
Oh yes, I've heard.
Truly epic hangovers from that one.
And
God, can we talk about the
yeah, go for it. Talk about what you want.
Michael Ears?
That's where we're
Oh,
going.
yeah, that's-
So then one night we're at Sanitary Tortilla Factory.
We had live from out there.
We had a live audience show there. We should do another one there.
One
'cause-
of our first shows for live shows for a while at that
yeah,
point.
and we actually had it was a full house. There was nowhere to sit. There's standing room only, and we did a show there. And it's the night before my birthday, or it was my birthday. It was the night of my birthday.
Yep.
And the one thing James had said, he's like, I'll drink anything, but I won't drink Thunderbird wine. And I was like, oh, okay. So I'm like, well, gotta go find Thunderbird wine. And I look everywhere. Finally,
I told you where to find
I
it.
go to the Bird of Paradise, and they don't have it. I can't see it. I can't see it anywhere. And I go in and I ask the guy. I go, "Hey, you guys have Thunderbird wine?" And he looks at me, and he goes, "Yeah, it's behind the counter." I was like, "All right, I'll take a bottle." And he goes, "All right." And he grabs it. He walks back over the counter. He goes, "Do you know what today is?" And I go, "No." He goes, "Today's the day that your life changes. Not for the better. If you're gonna drink this." And
That's definitely what you want to hear when you buy alcohol.
Right. And I go, "No, it's for a thing." And he's like, "All right." And he sells it to me. So I wait, and we're doing the show, and I mean, there's a really iconic picture of this show.
Of Michael taking a shot of it.
So we all take a swig out of it, and it's fucking gross. I mean, it's not Malort nasty, but it's pretty fucking gross. Speaking of that, I mean,
It's not even the taste. It's
Billy
the after
Malort.
effect.
What do you think now?
It's the worst thing I've ever taken in my palate.
Yeah.
It's why do people drink this shots?
Right,
ever?
right. But they're all about it, right? They were all about it, weren't they?
Nobody was about it.
Well, they were all excited.
Even the townies, they were like, "Why are you doing this, man?" Like,
Are you serious?
Yeah.
When every time I did it, they were like, "Is this your first time?" I'm like, yeah, nice. I was like, they're ready for this, and they're like, "Yeah, the face."
But also, I was not with residents.
Yeah, okay.
Per se,
All right.
I was just.
How nice were the
I have
bartenders?
to do my lords.
How nice were the bartenders? Super nice.
So nice.
Right?
So nice.
So we're doing this Thunderbird, and I invite anyone from the crowd to come up and drink Thunderbird. And so, I don't remember who took the photo. I wish I did. There's a picture of Michael drinking the Thunderbird in we're like sitting down at the table, and the computer's all there, and she's just standing holding it. And then she puts it down, and she goes, "I'm gonna be on your show." And I was like, "If you did that, you're probably in." And we all let her on.
Yep.
And this was then began the Michael years. Yeah. Michael year.
It was at least a year. Yeah.
Year. And Michael, Michael would come on the show, and I liked Michael. And we had our, differences. People did.
You guys had the sports talk where I was going out, Mal.
Yeah. And then one day we finally, like, it got to the point. I mean, I guess we're throwing it out there. So it got to the point where everybody was like, we gotta get rid of her. Because she wouldn't show up.
She never showed up for like the fun bits, the live shows.
Live shows, yeah.
As a manager, in a retail company, I'm
as a regional manager.
I am well versed in firing people.
Oh, he is.
I've fired at least 3 people from my bands. I fired someone from a podcast. It's fine.
It's fine.
Didn't you fire everyone from our show?
I do have a question, since we're putting it all out there. How did me being a guest on the show become a thing?
Okay,
that was your interview.
We'll get there.
Well, I know that.
We'll get there.
Okay, we're
First
getting
and
there.
foremost, let's talk about how
I fired a lot of people.
First of all, we didn't like you when we met you.
Oh, yeah.
Because we met you at a... Hold on.
It wasn't my fault.
No, it wasn't fault.
We met you at the press club.
Wait,
Yes.
wait, are we getting
That's
there?
not true. We met her at a
Oh,
alibi event at the rail yards.
yes.
And we were there trying to podcast.
Oh, and we
And
hated
her-
your boyfriends.
Yes. And
We hated your boyfriend.
Yes.
boyfriend.
So
And-
what's crazy about that is I got that hosting gig, and my boyfriend tagged himself onto it, and that's how we were hosting the alibi event.
Yeah.
I was supposed to be hosting it.
Yeah.
He just,
Tagged along.
because we
And
all
then-
know who he is, and he's a douche.
And then he saw us, and he was like, "Oh, this show." And he's like, "I do a podcast too." And he's like, "My podcast is," and then he was like, "It's seen by this many thousands of people."
It's not. There's literally 5 people,
Right. And so then
2 of which are him.
you guys actually like rated our podcast in the second hour, which I never put on. I never put it on anything.
Awesome.
Because of him, I can't stand that
Yeah,
guy.
no, it's fair.
So then we get to Michael, or we're getting rid of Michael. It was kind of the
Transition.
I fired her.
He did, in which she's still to this. I think she's still pissed about this day.
Well, the thing is, like,
He volunteered.
I volunteered. It's like, the thing is, like, I understand the grievances we have
Yeah.
with
He's our
podcasts.
axe man.
She wouldn't show up. It's got nothing to do with like talent.
And
or
the thing
she
is-
just wouldn't show up.
As far as firing people, because I fired a lot of people. Just with gentle text, like, it's not working out.
Yeah.
Here's what's the problem with you.
Showing up is half the battle. G.I. Joe.
Yeah.
And then
I missed 4 shows in 4 years.
Right.
I get
So
one
then
allowance.
one day we were like, I don't remember. I think it was when we were doing the podcast festival with all those folks,
Yes.
and
Don't even get me started on that.
I think Billy and I talked about it, and I was like, because you came up to me and you're like, I like your show a lot, and I was like, cool. And then I talked to Billy. I was like, what do you think about if we, if Michael left the show, what would you think about Holly Bird coming on? And he was
already in a second. It's like, that's Holly needs to be on the show.
yeah. So that was like the first time we talked about it, and then we fired Michael, and then we invited you to be on the show.
So this, I feel, is a good juncture to talk about when I first met Billy.
Oh,
I
here we
was
go.
hella drunk, right?
Well, so I went through a divorce and I started doing stand-up comedy, and this was 5 years ago now, probably 4 or 5 years ago. And we used to have an open mic at Back Alley Pizza Place.
Yeah. Story.
And so this guy used to come in, and we all loved him. He was a great audience member, and he was super sweet. Every time I would go on stage, he would be like, because I was just starting out, he would be so encouraging, and he'd be like, "You're so hot, you're so funny," and like, he was the best heckler because he wasn't heckling to be mean, he was heckling to be nice. So at the time, for some reason, I thought Billy was gay.
That's fair.
Thank you. So I thought Billy was gay, and I had just kind of started being a downtown person, And so one of my friends, like every time I saw Billy, like he came into press club a couple times when I bartended.
Yes, queen.
Like yes, it would. And so every
Girl,
time I
you
would
have-
see him,
Do so much for something. Please do what you do.
yes. And so every time I would see him, I get so excited. I give him this big hug, and I'd be so excited. And somebody was like, "Do you have a crush on Billy?" And I was like, "What? Billy who?" And they're like, "Billy Belmont." And I'm like, "I don't know a Billy Belmont." They're like, "Yeah, you do. You were just talking to him. You talked to him." I'm like, "Oh, Billy. Like, I think he's gay. Is he gay?" And so for the longest time, I thought he was gay, and everybody thought I had a crush on him, and it was very awkward on both sides of that for me. And so I didn't know that he was on. Yes.
This. Girl, you did so well.
Yes.
Girl, you fucking killed it.
And so if you fast forward, I meet Chris and Billy and all that. I meet Tendring at an event where I worked. That was a disaster, by the way. And
we pulled it off as much as we could.
you guys pulled it off. Everybody else did.
I wanted to punch a lot of people in the face
Yeah.
that day.
Oh my
Try
God,
being me
yeah.
in that situation. I almost stabbed people.
But also here is me. Girl, honestly, like what you did that night. Fucking fire.
Yes. So
Girl, you do what you do.
for some reason, I didn't like put two and two together that Billy was always on 10 drink minimum. Because again, clueless. So I get this message from Chris, and he's like, "Hey, we want to have you on the show?" And I told Crystal, my best friend, I was like, "I don't want to do this. Like, I'm bad interviewing because of said douchebag boyfriend." He told me I was horrible at interviewing people. That I was horrible at being on a show. So I was like, I will mess this up. I can't go do this. And Crystal was like, just go. Like, you need to go and do things like this. Just go and you'll have fun. So I come here. I have fun. I tell the story of me working at a truck stop strip club.
Yeah,
Yeah, you nailed it.
Your popular
And-
episode.
And
very popular.
a lot of my friends and family were like, holy shit, I didn't even know you worked there. And I was like, you're welcome. And then they asked me to come for the second week. And I was like, okay, I could do that. I guess I didn't suck. And now I'm just here and I have lifetime friends. But, so really, I don't.
Yes.
It's like meeting Billy just opened a whole world for me.
Yeah. And in back LA, where are they at now? Who cares?
Who cares? Because now I have my Monday open mic.
Boom.
I just remember you
And-
as my bartender,
Aw.
and like I would always be supportive of you, even the bartender when no one was what else was about. You shredding glasses. Like, this is my life right now. All right, girl, I'm here for it. Tell me. Tell me.
Everything.
So, I guess that brings us to where we're at. I mean, I guess we got to ask Billy, like, what were some of your memories from this? You know?
Oh my god, it's pretty much just who I am right now. It's Chris, you've brought me into it. And Holly brought me into this new idea of like I live this life in Albuquerque, and you guys are pretty much like my people. I'm gonna miss you. I'm drunk actually, guys.
No
My
way.
my mom's listening to this episode right now.
Are you
I told her to listen to us. And Jesus, like, just knowing you, Smiley, knowing you, Holly, and Chris, especially Chris, like, you have taught me a lot.
Should be Chris' face right here.
Right. And this is my last 10.
This is it.
This is it. It's funny, like, Ming Chen would be like, oh god, like, you can actually do Skype?
You guys can do a lot of things, man. You
No,
can be on the show.
no, it's...
I'm like, I know Billy ain't gonna do that. He might do it every once in a while.
And the thing is, like, Chris, you started the show, and then when you add me as a host, we're talking like fucking 7 years. Like, the show has been apart like 12 years, right?
It's no. You've been we've lived together 7 years.
Yeah.
You've been doing this show longer than 7 years.
Yeah.
You know, we moved in together, and I mean, we lived in that house over 7 years, easy.
Yeah, I would actually commute to your house
Yeah.
where I got my DUI.
I just remember like when Billy and I first moved in together. Like this is like a story that'll it kind of like really, I don't know, it's a metaphor for our relationship. We're in the house and we hear like a commotion outside, and I look through the blinds and I'm like, oh shit, dude, the neighbors are fighting. And it was like the neighbor lady who later on stabbing her grandma. But anyway, she's fighting with this other woman that her baby daddy's fucking. And I'm like, and Billy and I are staring through the blinds, and I'm like, oh man, this is crazy. Just yelling back and forth. And then Billy's like, shit, I gotta go practice. And he goes and gets the van. He drives away. As soon as he drives away, the two women start hitting each other in the face. And I was like, fuck yeah. And they grapple right out in front of our yard. And the one girl overpowers the other girl, and she's about to ram her face right in the fence.
The picket fence.
And the picket fence. And the girl that's getting overpowered, she goes, wait, if you let me go, I'll leave. And so she does immediately. And then the girl starts to leave. And
I had to go practice.
yeah, he misses this. So then the girl that won walks beside her and is like, yeah, bitch, you know, I kicked your ass. And like just goes down the street like yelling at her. And then I'm like, damn, Billy missed that. And then I was like, fuck, I didn't record any of that. And that was representative of our relationship together.
It's like I had to go think it's like a girl in her own like way
Yeah.
flailing. It's like I'm driving by you because I have to go to practice.
So then the other story is like Billy like texts me one day, like I'm coming home from work, and he goes, you're gonna have to come down the other street because the cops have blocked off our street, or the main way in. And I'm like, okay. And I
you can't take Broadway.
can't take Broadway. So I come back way and I pull in and immediately get out, and the cop starts walking towards me. And so I go, fuck.
Yes.
What is this going to be? And the cop said, I'm sorry, excuse me, do you live here? And the words you never want to hear. And I go, yeah. And he goes, okay. Well, your neighbor stabbed her grandma right there in front of your house. He's like, see the blood on the fence? And I go, yeah, I do. He goes, she's gonna live? And he goes, well, she's in ICU right now. And he's like,
Sham dying, rest in peace.
We've got the daughter in custody. He's like, over $20. And I'm like, this is a lot of information.
Do I need to know this?
So I go, I'm like, okay. And then the woman wasn't dead yet. So I walk in the house and I go, Billy, they sent me in to get you, and they want you to come out. And I told them I can get you out. So they need to talk to you. And he's like, what?
I had no idea what was going on.
And I go, just kidding. Neighbor stabbed her grandma. And anyway, it's weird. Like I tell that story at work, and everybody's like, "That's horrendous." And I go, "No, it's fine. Now she's in jail, so we don't have to deal with it." Like,
That's actually true. It's her
yeah.
self and her kids.
It was like frightening going to your house for a while.
And everybody's like, "Well, her grandma died." Yeah, she was 93, dude. I mean.
Do you remember all these
amazing she could
things?
grapple with someone.
Everything was stolen from us the entire time.
Yeah.
Just from that person who stabbed the grandmother.
And then, like, one day it came by. Like, first of all, like, we never knew. Like, this is the one place I ever lived where I didn't know any of my neighbors. This new place, I've met every single neighbor in, like, the first week. That place, we never knew any of our neighbors. And they would try to walk by and they'd be like, hey, man, a cigarette? I'm like, I don't smoke. And they give me that look like, oh, yeah? So you don't have to, I guess, bro. And I'm like, I really don't smoke. You know? And
I'm pretty sure it's because this stew was just covered in ashes.
Right, just cigarettes everywhere. I'm like, I'm not one, you know. And then finally one day it's like, they're like, hey man, you do that podcast over here? And I was like, no. What you talking about, dude?
Podcast?
Nope.
Is it us?
No, I do not. So yeah,
Don't stop without me. I have an emergency.
The show's over, and
Show's
Holly
over.
missed it.
Holly got her period.
Did she run to the bathroom?
You
Jesus.
can't say that in. You can't.
2019.
I call a shadow apparition a black person tonight. I feel so bad about it. I was like,
He's like, there was
you know,
there was
the
someone
shadow person, the black person.
No, he goes, the best part of the first hour, too, again, he goes, there was a person in my house. He goes, was it a black person? We're like, Billy.
I'm talking about a shadow person.
Christ.
I didn't mean to call him black person.
Dude,
I'm
at
sorry.
least- At least it's like Ghost Genie or something, man. Come on.
Jenny, I'm sorry. Jenny.
Wow.
I mean to call a shadow apparition a black person. I'm sorry.
So, I mean, so
Sorry,
you're-
guys. I had an emergency. I
So you're
ran.
moving to DC. So what are you expecting? I mean, what's life going to be like?
What do I expect from Washington? I've never been there.
Yeah.
I don't even know what to expect. I imagine a lot of.
Yeah.
Okay. Here's the thing about Washington D.C. It's a mix of like diplomats, a lot of people, like a mishmash of like different ethnicities. But you get into Virginia, get into Maryland, those are the racist people.
Yeah. It's true.
So we'll see what happens.
See, yeah. You think like
I'll-
American will be a thing there? Like people.
Past Potomac, I would walk in and it's like, who is you?
Who's you?
Who is you?
Have you ever had someone go like, "What race are you?"
In Chicago?
Really? Recently?
Yeah,
So what are you?
exact. That was the first time in my life. It's like, what are you?
What'd you say?
I said I'm a Native American, and actually, it's very sweet of him to actually acknowledge like I was a person of color. And he's like, "You're Native," and so at the end of my Uber ride,
Yeah.
they were like, pretty much like 30 seconds. Like, tell me about your legends.
No, he did not say that.
He did.
Tell me about your
Actually,
legends.
before that though, like rewind a minute before, he was like, "I'm so sorry." He pretty much apologized for colonialism.
I mean,
It was a white guy.
He was a white guy.
Oh,
Well,
wow.
well, he was of
That's-
something. He was like, "I'm so sorry."
That's so awkward.
It's awkward.
Like,
weird.
I'm awkward, but like, that is a new level of awkward.
And I don't know how to answer it. He's like, "I'm so sorry."
You just
what we
gotta
did to
throat
you."
punch them.
Wow.
And then like, tell me about your legends.
Tell me
Like,
about your legend.
Tell
Over
me
an
about
old
your
style.
fucking legends.
and so what happens? Like, well, thing is, like, we have like 2 minutes left. I can't explain it to you, but thank you. And Shelby's there as somebody who deals with it all the time. With like squeezing her hands, like this is fucking gas. Right?
I would have been like, let me tell you the legend of the last white guy that asked me about my legends.
Fuck.
It was so weird. Thing is, when I went to Chicago, there was half the rides. Somebody would ask us about what I was.
Isn't that weird?
Yeah, it's weird.
Well, so my favorite was so we get picked up at the airport and from Midway, and it's a black guy, and we're riding from the airport to where we're staying, and it was rush hour on a Thursday, so it took 45 minutes to get there, and we're in the Uber, and the guy's like, he was super talkative, and he's like, "So where are you guys from?" And I'm like, "New Mexico." And he's like, "Right on, right on." Wait a minute. Didn't you guys just overthrow the president there? And I go, "I'm sorry, what?"
I wish.
And I'm
Almost.
like, wait a minute, yeah. And I go, "No, New Mexico, we're part of the United States." And he goes, "Oh, yeah. But I don't think he got it.
I can tell you about my first Uber ride in Chicago.
Yeah.
It was from Midway to downtown.
Was it a 30-minute ride?
It was, well, yeah, it was a 30-minute ride. It's a $30 ride actually.
It was, yeah.
And so, like, I'm talking to him. I was like, "Hey, like, I'm just flying in. You have these things. It's like, you have a great accent." I'm like, "What?"
Really?
It's like,
I asked
hey.
people I had one. They said no.
It's like you speak good English. It's like I'm from the United States. It's like, and I didn't know how to respond. It's like you speak really good English.
She went the European one, just flip them out. Oh
And
my goodness!
All
You just sound like
I
these.
can say in that situation is like, thank you. I don't know. Like from
You should just straight into your Australian.
well, the thing is, I'm actually from here in the United States, and thank you. I love the United.
This
I love
cost
Chicago.
motor aluminium.
But he was like, you have a good accent, and I was like, thank you.
I think.
The big thing is I was performative enough to where like it's like I've been working on this accent for a long time.
Yeah.
I told him that. I was performative. Like
Yeah.
he knew I was from New Mexico. He was, you have a good accent. So thank you. I've been working on this
Thank God.
accent for a long time.
I work on it the cactuses where I'm from. In the desert.
And actually having that,
Iroquois.
I was with my girlfriend who's like,
What are they called? The cactus in Arizona? Saguaro.
Saguaros.
I call it Iroquois. I was like,
What?
and he
I don't know.
was like,
I'm done. I couldn't think of
straight up, like a guy was like, you're native, and I'm so sorry.
Tell me about your legends.
Tell me
your
about your
legends.
legends.
I'm so sorry about what we did to you.
Let me tell you about the legend of.
How to respond to somebody who
That is so
apologized for
embarrassing.
colonialism?
Oh my god. Okay, so I am embarrassed by white people all the time. Like when I watch Real Housewives of Orange County or whatever, Real Housewives anything, and they do something really, really embarrassing, I get really embarrassed. But when I hear a story like that, I just want to cringe and curl up in a ball. That is the whitest shit I've ever heard in my life.
And the thing is, I'm moving away to where I'll have that for every
Will
Uber
you
ride.
tell me every story?
I will.
Because
That's when you
I
mess
need
up.
it.
You'll be like, I need to be on the show. I've got a fucking story to tell you guys.
Oh,
Brendan
This
and
is
Dan Quayle,
ridiculous.
and let's just say it was fucking insane.
I
Really?
feel
All I want is-
embarrassed.
this explains the outfit now. You're just trying to blend in with your Crocs and your
And
banana
your-
shirt.
And a Brett Michaels hat.
You're confused right now. It's
All I'm
okay.
saying is,
That makes more sense.
all I'm saying is that I've been a part of the show for a long time. All I know is that you, Holly, you, James, you, Chris, especially you, Chris, has been a part of my life, like quarter of my life, pretty much. Like
Yeah.
I wake up every day and know I'm gonna do this thing that makes me feel happy. And I'm gonna miss this more than anything. As much as grievances, because Chris and I fight all the time.
Yeah, we do.
True. Fair.
True.
But
Now Holly will get that medal. Just kidding.
I mean, okay.
like the amount of times I'm pointing in Chris's face and screaming at him, you know,
Yes. Many times.
I'm not gonna have that anymore.
Oh. I'll be unchained. No one will
Oh,
stop
no.
me now.
Oh,
All I
I'll
know-
stop you. Oh, don't you worry. I will stop
Damn
you.
it.
Good. I'm too fresh.
If it wasn't for Ten Drink, I would be the worst person, craziest person, just like. I don't know what I'd have done without the show. That's
How many
what I'm
times
saying.
people stop you on the street and talk about this?
A lot.
Yeah.
And
I always get in trouble. Why don't you let Billy be on the camera? I'm like, it's not me. He's on the camera today. Is that me?
and it's
Well,
pretty.
we all had to see his Brett Michaels hat.
Yeah.
And there's the idea of like somebody like doing his own thing, but there's a toxic way of that life. But it's always been Chris who's kept me in check. And for the last like 8-7 years, Chris, you have been my rock.
Aw.
And
He's trying to break me. I know he's trying to break me.
I see it. I see it happening.
you've been my rock, and I don't know who I've been without you.
Aw.
Without
You'd be
Smiley,
Billy Bella.
without. If you weren't there, like I don't know where my life would have been. It's always been you, Chris. You're my best friend.
Oh,
It's so, with that being said, this is my last show at 10 Drink Minimum. You Smiley, and you Holly. There's a reason I'm alive. Especially Chris.
he got me. Son of a bitch.
You've kept me in check. We argued. We fought so many times.
Never fist fought though.
Never fist fought though.
Someone asked me the other day, "You guys ever fist fight?" I go, "No." And they're like, "You lived together 7 years, never fist fight?" I go, "No."
But I'm being a piece of shit, Chris. You've always been there to check me.
Same.
You've always been there.
Same.
Yeah.
Same. Like you need to stop that shit. I'm like,
Yeah.
All right. Because there's a lot of times I would, you know, I'm not an aggressive person, but when it comes to certain things, I am.
Yeah.
And
I'm the only person that got knocked out of your house. I did it to
That's
myself.
true. That's true. He did. But there's one thing I'm very protective of, and it's Billy, and then it's the show. And when I felt we were being disrespected, I'm one of those guys. You can ask Billy this. I'm super laid back, and the moment I'm not, you're fucking dead. Right? Ask him.
That's
How many
fair.
times you see me talk to the police and I fucking
Oh,
go
yeah,
off
yeah.
on a cop? Which I can because I have that privilege. I'm a white guy, so I'm allowed to. They're not going to shoot me. I mean, well, they might up in Heights. I don't know, but
That place is ghetto.
right. But ask Billy, dude. Like there was times we were at the art bar. If Billy would have been there, I would have probably been arrested. Like I was like going off.
Yeah.
And Billy's like, you need to shut the fuck up. And like Billy got in my face. He's like, you need to fuck calm down and shut the fuck up. And I was like, okay. And I knew if he was that way, then I was out of place. I was out of. I shouldn't have been acting like that. I should have been professional, because that's what I expect from my people, and that's what I expect from myself. And Billy was like, you need to, this is showbiz. You need to act professional, even when shit's not going your way. Right? And that's what you mean.
I grabbed you by your like haunches. Like,
Fucking did, man. I was going off. I was fucking yelling. I was
You were
like,
yelling.
that motherfucker. And I had my hand up. Yeah. And I don't get that way very often, but whenever fucking people disrespect us or,
I'm gonna worry about you, Chris. I'm not gonna be there now.
I know. But I've learned, I'm not crazy like
We've
I am,
learned
but-
from each other, and I'm gonna miss you so much.
Yeah. Now I just go, no, we're not going to do that. I'll just walk away. Yeah.
You pulled me off from so many fights.
I've got to tell that. I mean, I know we're way over time. There was 2 times I had to fucking stop you from. I don't know what kind of fighter you are, but I thought you were going to get worked. We were at
Bert Siegel Lounge. Yeah.
and this guy was disrespecting, like I don't know what he was. He was drunk, and the bouncers were trying to kick him out. And the guy was like, the bouncer was like, you gotta go, and he goes, fuck you. And Billy just like out of nowhere, fuck him, fuck you, and he like starts going at the guy, and I catch him, and I'm like, whoa, and the guy's like, I'll fuck you up too, dude. And then I turn to the guy, I'm like, don't shut the fuck up. And Billy's like, no, let me go. I'm going to fuck him up. And you were lit. Like, and I was like blown away. And this has happened twice.
I can't even imagine. Okay, me as little baby sister Holly,
Yeah.
who knows my Bill. I
Yeah.
call him Bill sometimes.
Yeah.
Like, you just seem like the sweetest person in the whole world. I
Oh.
can't even imagine
It's-
you getting angry.
Yeah. And I don't even remember the other time, but there's been twice where I've had to do the same thing. And I don't know what it is. It's just like Billy had a bad day fucking at work and he needs to let some steam up. And this guy said the wrong fucking thing at the wrong fucking time. And you just like all of a sudden turn into like a volcano. Like you're the kid from Ralphie's, the fucking, out of nowhere.
Yeah, I'll
Guys
pound this,
laughing at you. and
I'll
you're just
pound
like,
this kid in the
"Fuck
stove."
you!" And he gets this head of steam. And I had to stop him twice. And I was like, holy shit. And then he was like, yeah, you want something? I'll fuck you up. And I turned to the guy and I'm like, you need to shut the fuck up and get the fuck out. Just like the guy told you. And I was like, or I'll let him go. And you were like, for like an hour, you're like, fuck this this guy up. Like you were going around like doing the whole like I'm gonna kick his ass. And I'm like, no, you're not. You're not gonna kick anybody's ass.
Yes.
And I never seen
Gross.
like that. I've seen it
Primate.
twice.
Like,
No, I was pretty excited about it. I was glad that you had that in you because I didn't feel like an asshole at the time when I do it.
oh, I've won every fight I've actually gone into.
Okay, and yeah,
But it's also there were
you won those.
these other times.
I like how you totally remember exactly what. I don't remember what the second one was, but there was two, and I think the other one was at like a party, and somebody was gonna fight you, and I was not gonna let it happen, of course. And man, it's been a ride. There's been a lot of ups. There's been the downs, but there's been the
love.
more ups and downs, and I mean that it's been amazing.
Chris, you're my brother.
You're my brother too.
I live in your house.
Thank you. I'll come to DC and I'll see you.
I love you, Chris.
All right, we gotta end this. It's gonna be too bad. I want to say thank you to Tristan for being on the show earlier. I want to thank everybody. This is our first show in a new place. There's been some hiccups here and there, but it's a new setup and it's completely different. Everything's completely different, and Billy's leaving, but like everybody who's left this show, Billy's still part of the family.
Yeah.
And he's welcome back anytime. And if we have to Skype him in, we'll Skype him in. And we'll do what we gotta do. But
I was crying. I'm sorry, I'm crying.
you're crying.
We're all
Yeah,
crying.
you're crying.
So our website's 10drinkminimum.com. Not every show we're gonna cry, but if you're lucky, because apparently when we do, we get fucking shitloads of ratings. I'm like, how do we cry every episode? I mean, how's not the Grey's Anatomy of podcasting now?
Tender Nation, I'm gonna miss you.
Yeah, I'm gonna miss you. And you guys can follow Billy. Billy has, he has a SoundCloud. What's your SoundCloud?
I don't know. Chris.
He's got a SoundCloud. Type in Billy Belmont. He's just type Billy Belmont on Google. And we definitely drank during this show. And we're not doing that.
No.
We're not ending the show on that.
No, we're not.
I want to thank Billy for all the years of service.
Chris, thank you so much.
We're in the military.
In the military. And I want to thank everybody for being here.
Chris,
and,
my best friend. I'm gonna miss you so much.
With that, we
We are
10
drink minimum.
Tell you all about it when I see you again.